Hello again, Lloyd from Blackpool Air Rifles. Been a long time since I've done one of these videos, but we've got plenty to show you today, so hopefully there'll be something for everybody. What we've got is we've got a couple of new Daystates. We've got a little bit of information about the Chiappa 611 FAS, just in case you're thinking of purchasing one. We've got a variation on a theme BSA, and we've also got the new Glock 19, so hope you enjoy this video. Okay, well let's get started. We'll show you, I don't know whether you've been watching the Hot Air channel videos, which is our new channel, but last week I did the Red Rosso, which is the new limited edition Red Wolf. And I thought that some people liked it, some people didn't like the stock. You know, it's quite a Marmite gun, but I thought you might be interested to see the production versions. The production versions are, in my opinion, very nice, and the price is better as well. So here we go. We've got two to show you today. We've got the new Wolverine R. And we've also got the standard Red Wolf. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about this because there's plenty of good videos that are going to be coming out reviewing these rifles performance-wise. But basically, what you've got with the Wolverine is you've got a regulated Wolverine. So you've got the lovely stock, you've got the regulator inside it, which is a humour regulator. You have actually got a gauge for the regulator pressure as well on it. That's something new. You've got the usual sort of quality bits on Daystate, which you've got the nice side lever, you've got the safety catch at the back. And price-wise, these are a lot better. Don't forget, these are not these are the manual ones. They're not the electronic ones. Basically, with the Wolverine R, this is called the B model, which B obviously stands for bottle. You've got the walnut one, which is this one, as you can see. These are going to be selling for about $13.49. And they also do a really nice grey laminate one. Now, I'd love to show you the laminate one, but we've sold out, and they've been really popular. Very nice. They're $13.99. If you also, in fact, actually, that's something that I don't normally recommend highlight bottles. I'm not really keen. The highlight bottles are the carbon fibre bottles. But on the Wolverine R, they've actually decided to put a 500cc on as standard, which is a fair weight, to be honest with you. When you pick this gun up, the balance is actually quite a way forward. There's a lot of weight at the front. Of course, this is going to be compensated for if you decide to put a scope and well, you're obviously going to put a scope and mounts in it. But once you put a scope and mounts in it, that's going to bring the weight distribution back a little bit. But in my opinion, there's still quite a bit of weight on the front, and especially if you're hunting, it's pretty tiring to walk around with something this sort of weight on. So what I would probably recommend, and I don't normally recommend the highlights, I don't personally like them, but each to their own, is to put a highlight carbon fibre bottle on. That's going to increase the cost of £100, so this is going to end up being $14.49, and the laminate one is going to end up being $14.99. But I think in this situation with the Wolverine R, maybe the laminate one, if you like a lightweight hunting rifle, you carry it around all day, that might be a really good option, so have a think about that. These are available, I guess, through all Daystate dealers now, and as you can see, it's a lovely piece of kit, really nice. I think they've done a decent job on that. Be interesting to see how reliable they've turned out to be. I mean, obviously, Daystate have had a few little issues with reliability recently. I read it on the forums every day and on Facebook and stuff. Daystate know about this problem, and I think that these so far, in the couple of weeks we've been selling them, have been fine. But I mean, to be honest with you, I want to see long-term reliability from them as well. So that'll be an interesting thing. You know, the quality, the fit, and the finish seem to be absolutely lovely, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be 100% reliable. So, like, fingers crossed for Daystate. You know, I want these ones to work, but you know, they really need to up the game a little bit, and hopefully the Wolverine R and the Red Wolf is going to be a start of something new for them. And talking about the Red Wolf, here we go. Like I say, you've probably seen the series, the Red Series one, which was the limited edition one. This is the standard gun, and to be honest with you, as you can see straight away, it's a really pretty looking rifle. It's also like really light in weight. You've got a carbon fibre stride. This is the electronic one. So basically, what you've got here is you've got a long pulsar. The Pulsar actually has turned out, funnily enough, to be one of the most reliable Daystates that we've sold over the last year and a half, and I'm sure people are going to disagree with me because maybe they've heard about a Pulsar going on, but reliability-wise, honestly, the Pulsar's been absolutely fantastic. Some of the other guns in the Daystate range haven't been so good, but the Pulsar's been great. So I'm fairly confident that this gun's going to carry on that tradition of reliability. You can see that the actual LCD screen is a little bit further down. Obviously that is left over from the Pulsar days. So you've basically got a Pulsar in a really nicely shaped walnut stock. As you can see, adjustable cheek piece, and if I just turn that round, the cheek piece is actually adjustable there, and the reason being that they don't have a big wheel on the side is because this is actually ambidextrous. I don't know whether you can see that, but it's an ambidextrous rifle, and the nice thing is as well, we can take that bolt off and it can be swapped round. The only thing that's left over, obviously, that won't be perfect for a left-handed shooter is the actual gauge cluster there. But you know, it's not the end of the world, and I think actually for left-handers that's pretty good. They're not actually going to spend anything extra, and I've never been happy with left-handed people having to spend £50, £100 extra to get an air rifle in their chosen hand. But there you go. Really nice looking rifle. Price wise, that's what we need to talk about as well. These ones are going to come in. Sorry, I've had to write these down because there's so many different models and variants these days. We've basically got the standard Red Wolf, which is this one here, at $17.99, and they also again do a really nice grey laminate one at $18.99. If you decide you want to put a highlight on this one, which personally I won't bother with because the balance on this is a 400cc bottle, so the balance on this is actually much better, and it's a lighter rifle. You could do, and for some reason on the Red Wolves the highlight bottle is only £50 extra, so that would be $18.49 in the walnuts and $19.49 in the laminate. So I don't know why it's £50 extra on the Red Wolf and £100 extra on the Wolverine R, but there you go, that's what Daystate have said. Carbon fibre shroud on it, really nice looking rifle, and these are again available right now, so I think they've done a really nice job with those. Which I would buy, difficult one. I quite like the Wolverine R, to be honest with you, and I think with a carbon fibre bottle that would be a fantastic rifle, but both are in stock right now. Right. Next thing I've got to tell you, actually it's a bit of bad news really. I did a review, well a little bit of a review on the new Chiappa 611 FAS air rifle, and overall we were pretty happy with it on the Hot Air channel. We liked it. You know, the aesthetics, this sort of, I don't know whether you could call it tribal design or this sort of sweeping design on here, isn't everybody's cup of tea. That, by the way, that is adjustable, that lifts up and down, but we've got a bit of an issue with these, and we thought we'd better let people know. For some reason Chiappa have forgotten to finish some of the rifles off properly. In other words, they've forgotten the choke. So if you really fancied one of these rifles, what you need to do is you need to go into your local dealer and just double check that the rifle is choked. And to be honest with you, I'm a bit disappointed with that. I think that when you're building something for 700 quid, in fact when you're building something for any price at all, you need to make sure that it works, and you need to make sure it's built properly. So, you know, no choke in some of these rifles. Obviously the accuracy suffers drastically as a result. I was talking to Phil from Ratworks about it, and he's been testing it, and he's had to send all his back. All ours are going back today, to be honest with you. And like I said, I'm really disappointed, to be honest with you. It's a nice rifle, but stuff like this doesn't help sales at all. I think it's going to put a few people off. We'll get some more in. Obviously, we'll make sure that we get them choked, and I think, you know, they will get it right. But just at the moment, just a little word of a warning, just be careful if you're thinking about buying one of these. Just make sure 100% that the dealer knows how to check for the choke. Okay, so that's the FAS 611. Another rifle that's come out, and to be honest with you, BSA didn't really make much of a noise about it, and they haven't really named it anything special, is this little beauty. This comes as a package from BSA. This is the Ultra SE, and they haven't called it anything, but it's actually the KN laminate version. Now, this comes as a kit. BSA have started to do this more and more. We've seen quite a few like sort of built-up kits, which is great if they get the spec right. In my opinion, they've got the spec slightly wrong on this rifle, and I'll tell you why in a second. But it's still a great kit. So basically, what you've got the Ultra SE. The SE version is the multi-shot, so you've got the 10-shot magazine with it. you can also see that they've got this this R10 styly. In fact, it's it's off the SE R10 silencer and shroud system. I'm disappointed with that system. That actual the finish on that. There's nothing wrong. Well, I mean, it works okay, but it's not it's not a Virac at the end of the day. But it does its job. But I'm not happy with BSA mixing and matching all these weird colours and textures and stuff. We've got different colours of black on here. Why the hell that can't be the same colour black as the rest of the action, I really don't know. And that's what I'd like to see on the SE, and that's what I'd like to see on that rifle. So, great that they put a decent silencer on it. Not so great that it's got that sort of off, sort of matte finish on it where the rest of the gun is more of a blued finish. But hey ho, some people don't give a monkeys about looks. But saying that, if you don't give a monkeys about looks, why would you buy this rifle? Because obviously the main feature of this is the lovely laminate stock. As you can see, it's a very interesting colour choice. So basically, I'm not over keen on the finish on that, but it's a lovely looking rifle overall. Interestingly, they've actually put a decent scope on it. It's a BSA branded scope, and it's a 3 to 9 by 50. Is it? Yep, 3 to 9 by 50. Interestingly, it's a 30mm tube. Now that's quite unusual. I would have expected them to put a 1-inch tube on it, but they put a 30mm tube on. Will it make much difference in performance? Very little, to be totally honest with you, especially on the low modifications. It doesn't make a massive amount of difference. And actually, you could say, well, it's just adding a little bit of weight onto it. So, glass half full, glass half empty. The main thing I'm not over keen on is it's got a 30-30 duplex. And to be honest with you, there was nothing wrong with the basic reticule that we've had for donkey's years. But you know what? We've got mil dots now, and we've got scopes with extra aiming points. So if you just want a really basic reticule, great. That'll do the job. But I would like to have seen at least a mil dot scope on that. I think that would have been the icing on the cake. Also as well, price wise, $699, and I've actually got there's a bag. So basically for $699, you get the gun, scope, mounts, silencer, and you get a really nice the BSA. I think they call it the tactical bag. Everything's got to be tactical nowadays, isn't it? But that's the BSA bag with it. So the whole lot, $699, which, to be honest with you, it's a decent price, and actually I think, like, with a few little minor things about it, I'm going to recommend that rifle. The Ultra's always been a cracker, to be honest with you. Really accurate and reliable. So there we go. So if you're going to ask for it, that's just called the Cayenne laminate version. Right. Okay. Okay, last product for today is something that we've been waiting for a hell of a long time, and actually they've turned up a little bit earlier than we expected. This is the new Glock 19. Again, I'm not going to go into a massive review on this one because I've already seen some decent reviews coming out where people can take them out and shoot them, but I have been testing this morning and got a few interesting things to say about it. It comes in a basic cardboard box. You can see it's got Glock Perfection written on it. This is actually made by Umarex in Germany, so you can pretty much guarantee that the quality is going to be excellent. Inside the box, the only thing you've got is a very good instruction manual, actually. Okay, so that's it. So basically you get the gun and the instruction manual in the box. And what we've got here is this is the Glock 19. It's CO2 powered. People probably know the score by now. CO2 bulb goes in the handle. First thing that I spent time on, because I didn't read the instructions first, of course, is when you take the magazine out, this is the little magazine release catch. Underneath you'll see there is an Allen key. And the Allen key is actually to tighten the CO2 bulb up. Don't go looking for the Allen key in the box. Don't go getting excited that it's not there like I did this morning, thinking, it's supposed to be Glock Perfection, there's no Allen key. The Allen key is actually like neatly hidden away inside the grip. So basically that comes down like so, and there we go. So basically you unscrew that screw, you will put a bulb inside like that, and you will screw it up. Okay, and you might be able to hear that on the camera. And then just give it another half a turn. One thing about, just a little tip about CO2 pistols in general. A lot of people leave the bulbs in for ages, don't, because it's basically you're compressing a seal permanently. When you finish with it for the day, try and remove the bulb, because it'll keep the gun in better condition, or certainly keep that seal in better condition. And I would actually say that 50% of our returns are due to the fact that the actual main seal is compressed, and 50% is quite a lot. So if you can avoid that, you're going to have a really good chance of these being a lot more reliable long term. Anyway, okay, so you put the grip back on, that just clips in place there like so, and that is ready to go. Now this one, it's not a blowback, which disappointed me immensely when I first heard about it. You know, I like blowback guns, I think they're more realistic. There's swings and roundabouts about it. The positive side about a non-blowback rifle is you basically get a lot more shots per charge because there is no air wasted. Sometimes actually you get better accuracy as well, but generally you get a lot more shots. Now I've just tested that this morning. This takes 177 steel BBs, not pellets, steel BBs only. I actually got 100 shots out of a bulb. Now, if that was blowback, I would say you'd be lucky to get 40 or 50. So, you know, it's pretty impressive, 100 shots. Power-wise, not so hot, 1.7 foot-pounds, which, do you know what, is that any use? It's not absolutely no use for hunting of any description. I would never dream of recommending it. But, do you know what, for 10 or 15 metres, it's great, and at 10 metres, it's pretty damn accurate, actually. I was getting everything in sort of around about an inch and a half group, and that leads me to the disadvantage of the non-blowback action, which is the trigger unit is double action only. Obviously, if it blows back, it half cocks the trigger, so it makes it a lighter pull. Whereas this, basically, you are having to pull the trigger, and that is actually making the mechanism work and rotating everything. So the trigger, I'm not going to say it's heavy, because it's not. It's just a little bit long and a little bit imprecise, but you know what, it's more than good enough, to be honest with you. Fit and finish is absolutely superb as usual. You know, this is a tradition with Umax. I think they've got it absolutely spot on. On the side of it, it's actually got Glock, Austria, and it's obviously got 9x19, which is the original caliber size. I think that looks-wise, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, you know, so there's swings and roundabouts to this gun, but the main thing is this gun's going to retail at under £100. We've got these in stock now. I think it's £99. £99 for that, for a Glock replica, absolutely, I think that's fantastic. What about the performance? Well, you know what, if you're a blowback fan, wait, because probably around about May time there's going to be a blowback edition. The talk is there's going to be a blowback BB and there's going to be a blowback pellet. Now, of course, they're going to be a lot more expensive, and if you can't wait, I'd pick one of these up right now, to be honest with you, for 99 quid. I think they're great. They're good fun in your garden for plinking. But you know what, if you're a die-hard Glock fan, I'd be possibly tempted to wait a little bit longer and get the blowback one, which is going to be a lot more fun to shoot and a lot more authentic. Okay, well, I've probably missed a few bits and bats, but I've got a lot to talk about. And the other thing today, to be honest with you, is I'm sorry to say, everybody, but this is going to be possibly one of the last videos that I do on the Black Bull Air Rifles channel, which I'm sure some people are going, hooray! But if you enjoy these videos, that might, you might be a little bit unhappy about that. But the good news is we've actually started another channel off a couple of months ago called Hot Air. And you've probably heard the background noise. You know, there's people chatting, there's phones ringing and everything. I'm really sorry about that, but it's a working shop, and customers come first. So I'm in a corner doing this. It doesn't make it easy to do it. So we've moved on to the Hot Air channel. It's a completely. It's not in the shop. It's in a separate studio that's been custom made for it. We've already had about half a dozen shows on. I'm going to concentrate on that in future, so all the products and everything that you see on here will be moved over to the Hot Air channel. And the nice thing is we're going to be a bit more in depth. We've got Tony Bealis on board as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So all you need to do is just look up Hot Air. I'll put the links in the description below. Have a look at that. We're on Facebook as well as YouTube. You might see me do a few more in the shop, to be honest with you, but I'm not in the shop as much these days. I'm concentrating on doing the studio and doing the Hot Air channel. And hopefully, you'll get the same sort of information out of that you have done out of here. Thank you for watching. I started off, I wasn't expecting it to do well, and people seem to really enjoy it, and I've had a lot of good constructive criticism, So thank you very much everybody for watching this channel. I hope you've really enjoyed it, and like I say, come over and say hello on the Hot Air channel, and we'll be moving forward from there. So it's all good. Okay, right, well, as usual, if you didn't like what you saw, thumbs down. If you like what you saw, thumbs up. Comments below, all the usual sort of stuff. Thank you very much. I'm Lloyd. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the Hot Air channel soon. Bye.